I just want to
Well,
What was that? What was that? Is it possible that the Steam Deck sold less than the Wii U, had less exclusives than the Wii U, was sold at a higher price point than the Wii U? Could it be that the biggest flop of the century does not belong to the Wii U, but is instead the Steam Deck, the console that we were told was going to dominate gaming, was going to dominate the industry, was going to dominate the Switch 1 and the Switch 2, and it would cement like the glorious like Valve fanboy future, okay? Like Gabe Newell would have another $1 billion. He'd be able to buy like, all the yachts with this money. Like this was supposed to be the death sentence for the Switch, was that it was going to have a bazillion different tablets that all did the exact same thing, and of course, Nintendo would fail because nobody actually likes Nintendo or their hardware. It's all just a big code. like, yeah, like this was the best possible, like, justification the gaming YouTube community had in downplaying the Switch 2. Like, they seriously tried telling you that the Switch 2 was too expensive and that you would be better off getting a Steam Deck. And they told us over and over again, like, wait for the price hikes, wait for the price hikes, wait for the price hikes. Like, the price hike for Switch 2 was supposed to destroy the entire company, okay? Like, the price hike would get announced, and, like, Nintendo would go out of business, and then Valve would acquire them, and then they'd make, like, AAA Mario with, like, lesbian Peach and Daisy, and they'd be going up against Donald Trump, and it was supposed to be the greatest thing ever. And what happened instead? The price hike for Switch 2 was a measly $50, while everyone else jumped like several hundred. Okay? Like, PlayStation and Xbox jumped several $100s to begin with. PlayStation in particular, I think, has gotten a couple of price hikes over the past year. And now we have seen the price hikes now hit the Steam Deck. Not the brand new unrevealed Steam Deck sequel that people were insisting was going to come out for some reason. No, no, no. This is the old, busted, used up, nobody cares about it anymore Steam Deck original. Now being sold at $950. Like, almost $1,000 dues. Like, they are selling a Steam Deck, this broken, ineffectual piece of hardware with no real exclusives. They are selling this for $1,000. Okay? That's like a good chunk of, like, the average person's, like, annual salary. Okay? That's like most of the money you'll make in, like, a month. Okay? That is like the biggest purchase you'll make all year, unless you're, like, buying a house or a car or something. Like, $1,000 for a children's toy to play, like, really shitty indie games. Like, are you serious? Like, this is the Switch 2's competitor? Like, this is really what you thought was going to beat Nintendo. You really thought that the Steam Deck was going to beat Nintendo because of, like, I don't know, Valve made it. Because I have never heard a good explanation as to why the Steam Deck is superior to Switch. Like, every time it comes up, people just, like, start blathering about emulation, which, by the way, doesn't even apply right now because there are no emulators for Switch 2 games. So, again, if you bought a Steam Deck, assuming you would be able to emulate Switch 2 on it, like, you are shit out of luck. It's just not going to happen. Like, it's like Nintendo's got your number. They're shutting you down. And, like, I really wonder just, if this was your best play, I really truly, genuinely wonder, like, how you're going to pivot away from this. Like, how you're going to recover from this epic L. Like, you are selling a Steam Deck for about, like, double the price of a Switch 2. Like, that Switch 2 with the price hike, actually. Like, before the Switch 2's price hike, which, by the way, hasn't even been, like, it hasn't even increased yet. It's not going up until September. Like, the Switch 2's current price point of $450, that is half the price of a Steam Deck OLED. Like, because a Steam Deck OLED is now $950. So, half of that, yeah. So the Steam Deck is about as expensive. It's almost double the price of the Switch 2 right now. I mean, actually, no. It will be double the price of the Switch 2 after the price hike is in effect. But currently at $450, like, that'll be two Switch 2s would run you up like $900. So two Switch 2s would be less expensive than one Steam Deck OLED. That's, like, insane. That is, like, positively insane. It is ridiculous what we've seen, like, happen over the past year. Like, it is ridiculous to see how the community has like rallied, how they've tried to make excuses, how they tried to like downplay things, how they tried to like, ignore reality that like the Steam Deck has just gotten positively wrecked by Nintendo Switch 2. And I don't know how they're going to recover from this, honestly. Like, I don't understand how like anybody is ever going to like. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot to do my Nintendo video. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just checked my YouTube feed. Nintendine has already come out with a cope video. So we're probably gonna have to do a reaction video to that tonight. I forgot to do a reaction to his last video, the one he made about 007. Like I got home today uh after work and I'm just like I gotta see like I gotta do this video and I just haven't done it yet because like the Steam Deck thing happened and I made a video about that instead and it's just been like it has been a downright travesty. It's been embarrassing, honestly, to see how like the community has just been like is just damage controlling right now. Yeah, we're gonna have to watch the Nintendian video. He was right on it. He made that video immediately after the news broke. Like he got his out around the same time mine did. And mine is like just laughing at it, but I'm sure he's gonna cope about it. Like, cause I think the last Nintendo video we watched, he was trying to tell us that like you can like emulate Twilight Princess HD on a Steam Deck for like a much lower price. So he's gonna have to like damage control that now. Like, which isn't even true, by the way, because like you're not getting Twilight Princess like physically on GameCube for like a price less than like $250. It's just not going to happen. That's a very rare version of the game, and it's very hard to come by. Like, you're better off just like waiting for an official release. Like the entire idea he has that like it's more affordable to get a Steam Deck than a Switch 2. It's just so obviously off base. You could legit get a Switch 2 and every single first party game, and I think it would like amount to less than like what you would be paying for a Steam Deck. Honestly, because like yeah, Mario Kart World is 80, that's like 580. And then like then Bonanza, then Air Riders, well, I mean not every single one, but like a good chunk of them. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. Like, there's a lot of first party games on Switch too. I mean, to be fair, maybe like exclusives you could do that. Like if you're counting like the Switch 1 ports, that's probably a little bit much. Tried to claim the Xbox Series S is more powerful than the Switch 2. Yeah. Yeah, I Nintendine is like a relic of a bygone era. He's legit stuck in the past. He literally thinks he's running a YouTube channel in like the Wii U days cuz like he's doing the same thing those guys did back in the day where you would have people freaking out over like Cranky Kong in Tropical Freeze and like how we don't need 2D platformers, and that's that was they freaked out over like Nintendo Land being like the last ever Nintendo E3 announcement before they made the transition over to like Nintendo Directs, like again there was all sorts of weird copes about Nintendo back then. Like Nintendine really does come off as if he's like from that era. Like he really does feel like he's a time traveler. Like he's like we dug up a time capsule and he was just there and just like he still thinks it's 2012. Like he really does act that way. Like and like he's like a parody of himself because like the kind of shit he says has been out of fashion for years. Okay, cuz like one of his things now is that he's like glazing 007. And 007 is like it's getting a lot of flack online because a lot of people are seeing through its transparent shit because it's trying to like do this thing of like, oh yeah, look at all the sexy women, but like we all know it's like a bait and switch. We all know that like the Uggos are going to be way more prominent characters. We all know Bond's going to be emasculated. People have already like shown screenshots of him being emasculated, and now there's like stories of him getting like rescued by female characters, right? Again, it's something that we really do have to move past. Is that like, yeah, the game's woke. We're gonna call it woke, and I'm not gonna support it. And I'm very curious if like how well this game does. Like, cause if Bond like becomes like kind of gets the if it becomes like Star Wars and people just stop consuming new Bond content, like that's gonna be like a really crazy precedent, I think. Like I don't think walking back what they've done to the Bond license is like possible. Like you're seeing a lot of people try and say that like Bond was always woke and like Bond was always taking orders from women and Bond was always like um always changed with the times. That's never been true, but like it's yeah, because like people don't realize this. If you're not a hardcore Bond fan, up until shockingly recently, you were supposed to believe that like all of these like Bond movies were like featuring the same character, right? Like it's kind of debatable like when exactly that changed, but for a long time like this was supposed to be the same person. So it's like the idea that the character is like can be like some sensitive soy boy is just completely out of touch with reality. And I think most Bond fans are willing to put their foot down on it. And like you have so much content already, there's not really much they can do. I've noticed that they've if you're not aware of this, they actually went back through the old Bond books and they've tried like heavily censoring them and they've tried like changing the text and they've tried like making censorship changes and you know the fan base pushed back pretty hard on that. Um, like at this point, like I want the Bond license to fail. You know, I want the original books. Like I want them in the public domain. I don't want anyone touching them. I don't want them to like try and modernize it. Like I don't want to hear this shit about like younger versions of characters again, because like that's just a code word for trying to make it woke. Honestly, like again, people really need to push back on all the shit they've been trying. And like I think what we've been seeing lately with like these license games, because we saw this happen with Hogwarts Legacy too. Like they tried really hard to push this idea that it was anti woke, that it was like leading into like the anti Troon shit, that it was like it was based and like you know it was gonna piss off the liberals, and like it just wasn't true. Like Hogwarts Legacy was super woke, like way more than the original game, the original book. So like I just don't yeah. The problem with modern Bond is that like Albert Broccoli's daughter is in charge of the brand now. So like yeah, she's like massively feminized it. And yeah, it's been like a pretty slow decline since she took over. Yeah. Yeah, and it's not something people really talk about because, like, I feel like most people don't really pay attention to Bond because I feel like people have this mindset that like Bond's really difficult to make woke because it's so episodic and you can like just ignore all the shit that doesn't work. Because like if you don't like a Bond movie, you're never gonna go back and watch it again. You're gonna stick with the ones that you do like. And so like it's been very difficult for them to kind of like fuck with the characters. Because I remember like what they did in Goldeneye was that they made a big deal about making M like a woman, right? Like the idea was to push this idea that like military leader women just didn't, you know, obviously bullshit. But they tried to push the idea. But like traditionally, M was never in the field and never really did anything. So in order to like make female M relevant, they had to keep coming up with like all these contrived situations to like put her in the field and like you know make her more like emotionally invested in what Bond was doing and like his background and stuff like that. Like it doesn't really work, honestly, because like this is the thing with the Daniel Craig films. Like they tried doing this thing where they tried having like a long-term story structure, so like they could like try and progressively make it more woke over time. But like people like tuned out like by the time Quantum of Solace came out. They tried like people tried glazing Skyfall, like they tried like salvaging it, but like you know by the time like the sequels came out, like nobody gave a fuck again. I can't imagine Skyfall is that good. I see people like glazing Skyfall a lot. Like I've seen a lot of people say it's the best Bond ever, but like I really don't buy it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that Casino Royale again. I've never Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen anything Bond related. I really should like watch them all again in preparation for First Light, because I think I am gonna get it from the library. I'm not paying for that shit. Rowling herself is extremely well. Yeah, 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 yeah. She is. Yeah, like outside of the Troon shit, like Rowling is extremely woke, and like I've been like, she's actually the reason why I'm so anti woke because like. Like her pretending Dumbledore was gay, like awakened like some kind of primal rage in me, where I'm just like, no, he wasn't. No, he fucking wasn't. Like, it was so like that's how I learned about virtue signaling and like the concept and like why it's a problem and like it's very interesting like the result of that was because I don't think anybody believes it. It just kind of like it's led to Rowling herself being like not taken seriously, honestly, because she's not like Tolkien. Because like Tolkien was working on like Lord of the Rings stuff until he died, right? He was doing like the Silmarillion, like he was constantly like making changes and like constantly like expanding on the lore. Like Rowling's been like really hands off in comparison. Like she's just kind of lazy. I mean, calling her lazy is a bit of a stretch. She wrote the best like fantasy series ever, but like it's like she wasn't really interested in doing more than that because like she's tried to like branch out into other things, like she did like the Cormoran Strike novels and she's done like, other books and she's done like the Harry Potter sequel movies and stuff like the prequel movies and stuff like that. It's like none of it really sticks though. And like in a lot of ways she doesn't really want them to stick. She just kind of like does whatever she wants and like she just doesn't have like the drive to make herself like a billionaire. It's like when you look at like someone like Taylor Swift or even like the South Park guys, like they've been working like constantly to try and like get to that point where they're like billionaires, like I'm trying to get to that point where I'm a billionaire. But like Rowling herself is like perfectly happy being at like wherever she's at. Like I'd say it's like I don't know how much she has. It's like it's probably like several $100 million. She's not quite a billionaire, but like I don't think she's publicly disclosed how much she makes. But like um yeah, like at a certain point, it is just numbers, and it is kind of silly to like obsess over it. But like I don't know if you're just like dedicated to be successful. Like you're just gonna keep trying to make the numbers as high as you can because that's like your entire identity. And I feel like Rowling just doesn't have that in her and like doesn't really care about it much. I think her other books are good. It's just the issue is that like Harry Potter was like it just blew up in a way that I think is very, very uncommon. Because like people will argue that there are plenty of books better than Harry Potter out there, which I don't really agree with. But like Harry Potter is just like it became a cultural thing because of like just the right place and right time thing. The quality doesn't matter because there's plenty of things that become cultural phenomenons that aren't good at all. Like Twilight, for example. Hunger Games. Like there are plenty. Like when you compare Harry Potter to like all the knockoffs that have come out since, Harry Potter is just like it's just way higher quality and way better. But like it really feels as if like it came out during a period where people were reading less and weren't really like invested in what was getting published, and it was kind of this huge deal that like got people fired up about like reading fantasy again. Like honestly to me it does feel like a complete fluke because you look at like how it got published and how she was like sending it to people and how she didn't know what she was doing. Like legit like she got rejected like several times. Uh the guy who eventually published it like was going to throw it out but then like took it home to his daughter or something and she read it and like loved it. Like the problem with publishing is that like publishers just don't know what they're doing, honestly. They're so obsessed with like status and impressing their clique and like being like nepotistic retards that they don't even like they don't actually know how to find talent or find anything really. So Harry Potter, I really genuinely think that like if Harry Potter hadn't like gotten published when it did, it would never have blown up. Like it just would have been this thing that just never really took off. Again, it was just this is how these things go, really. Because I see this happening with what I do too, where like you work on something, and then like all of a sudden you see this massive spike, and then it just kind of peters out again. Um, like for Rowling, it was a case where like it never really went out because she was able to like she had the perfect thing at the perfect time, at the perfect place, with the right people. And she was able to like, make it successful in the UK, make it big in America, turn it into a movie franchise, make it a global phenomenon. Okay. And then turn like, it was just like, it just became this big thing. And like, it wasn't just like, it wasn't just because the books were good. It was just like, it was just because of, it just happened essentially, and it happened because she did do a lot of work to make it to make the books as good as possible, and but people did give her a chance, and like people did really really enjoy it. So yeah, I'm very curious like if she was like selected to be famous, because when you look at like people like today, like Brandon Sanderson, or like the Carl Dungeon Crawler guy, it all feels like they were very specifically like picked for their political opinions. Like the idea was that like their books blow up and then they come out as like raging liberals, and all they start bitching about Trump and like complaining about their conservative fans and how they don't understand their work or whatever. Like I'm curious if like Rowling was selected in that same way, because like she is like on board with 99% of their issues. Like it's just the Troon thing that she's dead set against. By the way, this is actually why I feel like I would never succeed in the traditional publishing space, because of my political views and like what I believe and what I do and what I am and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with my actual talent. So yeah, I would say I'm quite a bit better than like most of the industry darlings already. Lindsay Ellis gets all this like support and all this and all these resources. Like I think she got a 3-book contract when she hadn't like really written anything before, like purely based on this idea that she had a large internet following. It's very interesting seeing that, because like um Lindsay Ellis didn't sell any books. It's like it's crazy. Like it's very possible that like my books are like more widely read and popular than hers are. And it's entirely because her audience doesn't read anything. They don't care to read anything. Like it's all just performative, and it's all about like pushing like the agenda, okay? So Lindsay Ellis's audience, they aren't so interested in like fiction or fantasy or storytelling sci-fi. Like what they're interested in is like pushing the agenda, like using fiction to push the agenda, typical bread tube shit, right? So like because the book was trying to be something else, because it wasn't really. Actually, no, that book was like pretty political. Like it was that book was rooted in like 2008 wokeism, though. So like you read that and it feels like it came out of 2008, where like, it's all about like, Bush, and like it's some weird liberal like fantasy about like Bush resigning from office because like aliens showed up or something, and it's like it all comes off like very wish fulfillment-ish. I never really fascism and eugenics. Yeah, it's interesting. Sci-fi is like an extremely woke genre. It probably was like the earliest compromise genre in like literary circles. Because I think most of the classic sci-fi art authors that they try to push today, like Asimov and the likes, uh were raging liberals, and were really trying to like further the agenda even at that stage. Um, And like it's probably even gotten worse now, but like the issue now is that like nobody reads this stuff. People spurg out about the comic books and about the licensed products, but like original material gets published too. But like what happens when it's like original material that pushes woke shit is that like nobody reads it, nobody cares, nobody even knows it exists. Okay. I was talking like a while back about like Mark Oshiro and how he's like some fag in Berkeley. Like he moves. I think he's like lived in every single gay capital in like the fucking US. But like, this fag, he he was someone that like he purported himself to be an intellectual. He claimed he was like top of his class in school. He claimed he was like this sensitive soul and like he was this great talent. And like he just wasn't really. Like all of his opportunities were just handed to him because he was gay, essentially. And like, he got a publishing deal somehow. I saw his like face at my local bookstore a while back and I was just kind of blown away by it. And like now I look at him and I see that like yeah, apparently in spite of the big push, in spite of being like with the right people in that community, like he just didn't sell any copies and he's shutting everything down. I don't I don't know where he's going now, but it's crazy to me that he's straight up like not making anything at all. It's just weird to me that he was given all these opportunities to be successful in like this sphere and yet he didn't really like stick with it or become successful. Like I think because like so much of his success hinged on his like identity and like not his actual talent. Like he's just not that good of a writer. And like I could tell that even when I first read his blog. Japanese manga and visual novels are so much better. It depends on what you're reading for sure. There's some bad ones out there. I don't know. I think Japanese media has this problem of being too like wish fulfillment-ish. Because like we always bitch about isekai specifically, and how it always goes like the same template where you get transported to another world and you get all these superpowers and suddenly you're banging all these broads. It's like come on, bro, like come up with something more interesting. It's just it's just a complete joke. Like I don't know. Maybe it was like a corporate thing because I've heard that like Japanese people are kind of sick of it too. I think they had like a couple of like success stories with that genre, and then they just went all in on it, and then they just kind of like milked it to death. I don't know, but yeah, like there was a time where like isekai was like the lowest of the low when it came to anime. I don't know if that's gonna be like the trend going forward. Cause like these days I have a hate boner for like romance anime in general. Cause I just find them all very plastic and fake and just like I don't understand. Like if you're gonna be together, just be together. Like why do you have to do this thing where you're like, oh, we have to find out about each other and we have to spend time. It's like, bro, like it's not gonna work, like ever. Like just stop, stop. Embarrassing. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like it's weird because like you watch like shonen series and they have like a way better like tendency to make like the love interests like more likable and like more nuanced. Like you have like Naruto is great with that. Um Great romance between Naruto and Hinata. Like it's just so likable and you just root for them more. Like romance anime weirdly just does not work. It's just yeah, I don't yeah, the Cattle Have Fangs is like almost done now. I haven't actually worked on it today. I'm probably gonna like fire it up before I start up the gameplay stream tonight. But like I don't know like how that's gonna do. I don't know if it's gonna make me any money. I hope it does because I do need like a like a couple of $1,000 like right now. Like I need to like deal with some things like now. But like other than that, I'm just I don't know. I'm just I don't know, man. I'm just so fed up with like all this nonsense in this community. Like I'm just so fed up with how difficult it is to like be successful and to like find people to be around and to like, just be a normal person cuz like everything sucks no matter where you go. It's just like everything shit. Like the reason I don't like leaving my house is that like everything in the area is just garbage. And you're never gonna meet anybody. There's never anyone around. Like it really does feel like at this point, like people either go to like straight to their like um lockdown, like membership only like areas, or like just go to each other's houses. And I felt like that for a long time, but it's like it's weird like when you go out to like a restaurant or something and you see like the most disgusting human beings imaginable like working there or like eating there or like lounging around outside. Like I was like yeah, I was somewhere. I don't want to say if I want to name the location, but like I was like walking by, right? And like I see someone just screaming at cars, attacking people, just like getting like angrier and angrier and angrier. And then he starts towards me and I start seizing up. I'm like scared. And then he looks at me and then he like turns around and walks away and then starts harassing everyone else. Like I just don't I don't I don't get it. Like I turn the corner and I see he's like beating the shit out of some woman who passed by. I think he grabbed her bag and started like hitting her, and I'm just kind of like, wow, it was why is this guy on the street? It's like why is this even allowed? And like I didn't see the cops, I didn't see anybody like do anything. I didn't do anything because it's not my problem. But it's like it's like, why was this allowed? Like, if I thought the cops would do anything, I would have called them, but like they didn't. You know, it's just like a druggy town. Yeah, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, everywhere. They're fucking everywhere now. Yeah, it's getting bad. Like it's bad. Like I actually don't like. I feel like every time I go to town, like after like 3 p.m., like I get harassed like at least once. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And I tend to go in the morning, so it's not that big of a problem. But like um every time it happens, it's like this has to stop. Like now. It's not really acceptable. And I'm very, very frustrated that like things have gotten as bad as they are. Like there was a little bit of an uprising, like an uproar when like the shooting happened. Because I actually made a video about this. I went out biking. So like it was one of those things where it was just like, yeah, this needs to stop. And yet like we're not seeing any real changes. Okay. We're seeing like the city government, they're just like, oh yeah, today's Mothra Day. And like the actual problems aren't getting addressed at all. It's like it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I go to the bookstore and she's there and she's just like, we need to make housing less expensive. And I'm just like, just deport people. Just start sending people to prison. Like, what's the big deal? What is the big deal? Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's very frustrating. I mean, it's gonna get cracked down on eventually because this is like one of the things that like we are gonna clean up like instantly. Like the instant we start taking real power, like back from the establishment, like this is gonna be like an immediate thing. Like you're gonna be like allowed to beat the shit out of these people, and like they're gonna be sent to prison, and they're gonna get like I don't know. I guess they'll beat each other up, like in prison. Like I bet they won't like that. They certainly don't like it when people like stand up to them. It's like yeah, yeah. they're gonna have to get cracked down on hard for sure, like absolutely hard. I am just so fed up with it. It's just it's absolutely disgusting. I mean, like the way things are now, like because everywhere I go is by car, right? As long as I'm not like walking anywhere, like there's no chance of me like ever coming across them. Because I went to the library today, and it's like it's so far out of the way, like you don't see anybody. Like maybe you'll see some like people at the computers, but they're like local or whatever. It's like, they have cars. They're not like quite on that level. But like other than that, it's like very quiet. It's very nice. No problems. Like, and I think they have security too there, so it's not ever gonna be like it is like in the city. But like, yeah, yeah, I don't see like that location ever being a problem. Like, it's just not within walking distance. At least not within like a reasonable walking distance. Yeah, man. Like that's actually one of the reasons I want to get like FSD. Like I want to get a full self-driving Tesla. Cuz I want to be able to like, just drive up to a location. I want to like get out of the car and I want it to like go find a parking space and then wait for me to just leave. Okay? like like I want it um like I'm not gonna walk like down a street like where there's any possibility of getting harassed. You know what I mean? It's like that's definitely something I'm looking forward to is when like you have full like self-driving cars and you can just kind of like do that. Like I already see kids doing that now where they're just like they have someone like drop them off or pick them up or like whatever without like walking any distance. And like that's probably the way to do it is just kind of avoid all these areas. Like honestly, I'm just not gonna like support the city or go there or like support any of their businesses. It just feels like a complete train wreck. Yeah, I went and got like ate at a restaurant there, and I was just baffled by the price and the quality and just like the service, and it was just like I'm never coming back. Like honestly, like go out of business. Like fuck you. Like I was just like it was like embarrassing how much I paid for what I got. Like I could have gotten like a significant chunk of my groceries with that. It's like it didn't make any sense to me. Like it did not like make any sense to me at all. But yeah, let's I actually have a Review Tech USA video I wanted to react to because it had Stuttering Craig and beat 'em ups in the thumbnail.
I just want
Oh, he removed it. Oh, wow, he deleted it. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Man, I wish we reacted to it because there were apparently there was some severe issues with like the audio quality and like it didn't really okay, shit. What are we gonna do now? I guess we could just talk chill for a couple of 20 minutes or so. Chiller7. I really need to work on the book. I think I'm gonna do that like after this. If you know how to cook, yeah, yeah. I've been learning. Yeah. Yeah, so I get like fresh ingredients. I have plenty of vegetables. I'm part of a CSA. I have that set up. Um, I have plenty of like yeah, I have like yeah, meat delivery. Yeah, I have that. Yeah, fruits I can get from grocery stores. I mean, I wish there was a better way for that, but like I don't think my area is good for fruits. I cannot find any good local fruits. But yeah, vegetables and meats I'm good. I have a bakery that delivers. So yeah, I'm pretty much good when it comes to like most things. Like I think next time I order the meat, I'm gonna get some milk, butter, and cheese from them too. Hopefully the cheese is good. I've been really struggling finding cheese because like um I've always used like Velveeta growing up because like I love Velveeta. I love the taste of it. And like I actually scanned it in Yuka the other day because I was like, oh, I wonder what the nutritional value in this. It is complete shit. Apparently Velveeta is like complete garbage. And I was just like heartbroken. And I instantly like usually when I realize that, like I instantly like swap it out for something else. But like for the cheese, like I could not find anything that was like a good substitute. Like everything else I tried just wasn't as good. Um, so I've been really struggling trying to find a cheese that like I like, and I'm just like, ugh. So yeah, I'm gonna try this cheese that's like locally made. I think so. We'll see how that works. I've we're gonna have to see for sure. But yeah, I most things like most basics I'm taking care of. It's like cheese, it's bread. Like yeah, bread's good. I need cheese, like milk, like dairy stuff mostly. Cheese, yeah, it is. Yeah, I think I paid like yeah, I paid quite a lot for like that last bunch of cheese I got that wasn't Velveeta, and like in the end, I didn't even really like it that much. So yeah. Mario Galaxy movie has officially surpassed a Minecraft movie. Yeah, good. So Mario Galaxy is like the second highest grossing video game film of all time. Great. Great, great, great. So yeah, I remember I feel like you keep seeing people saying saying that like Mario Galaxy like failed somehow or that it wasn't very good. Like it outdid Minecraft. Actually, that's a good point. The narrative has been for a long time that Minecraft is actually more popular than Mario, and that like that just isn't true. Like, what Minecraft product do you know that's like done better than Mario? But like, Minecraft is the highest selling game ever made because it's the same game that they give updates to. It's not like a fair comparison, like at all. It's not like Super Mario Bros. Where you have different versions of Mario Bros. That like are counted differently. It's like no, like Minecraft is Minecraft, like just like GTA is like GTA 5. Like it's just Nintendo can produce actual sequels. Like Mario is bigger than Minecraft. I don't know why this is like a debate now, but it's something that people seriously thought that Minecraft would be a tough movie to top. Like and the sequel's gonna do worse, I think, because like Minecraft just doesn't resonate with people really. I feel like they tried so hard to make chicken jockey a thing. I had someone at work like try and do that, like chicken jockey, and like it just made me want to leave. like it wasn't funny. I didn't go see the movie. I'll never go see the movie. I'll never play the game. Like your shit. Fuck you. I'm still mad. Yeah, creativity. Yeah. Alternative to Minecraft. Well, they kind of already have with like Pokepia. Like Pokepia is already better than Minecraft. It's just that like Minecraft just came first and is more culturally ubiquitous. Yeah, I mean that's the problem is that like if kids want to play Minecraft, they'll just play Minecraft. It's just one of those things that like it really does appeal to people who aren't really gamers, honestly. It's kind of like the opposite of Grand Theft Auto in that way, where it's like it's more for kids and it's very child friendly, but it's like it's not good either. So Minecraft only made money because teenagers were encouraged to be disruptive. Yeah, yeah. Wasn't there like a story that someone brought like a live chicken in and then like started throwing it around? It's like what? What like I don't understand it. Like Minecraft's interesting because like you look today and like you see how well something like that how the Super Show is still like relevant today. Like I was watching the Mario Galaxy movie and like they have a line like I'm hooked on the brothers. Like that's the Super Show is still relevant. Like honestly, the movies feel more like a successor to like the Super Show than like the games. And when you look at them in that perspective it really showcases how relevant the Super Show is still today. Because I watched it growing up, and I know people who watched it growing up, and it was pretty outdated by that point. Like it stayed relevant just by being a Mario branded thing. Honestly, Tears of the Kingdom gives you a lot of freedom, but it has a higher skill ceiling. Yeah, yeah. If I will say, Tears of the Kingdom skill ceiling I think is way too high. Because I think that's the problem with Tears of the Kingdom. Like when you really look at it, when you really look at how people who claim it's like the same thing as Breath of the Wild, it's like the issue is that they're not engaging with the mechanics enough. Because they do this thing where they're just like, well, like I don't have to. Like, why would I learn? I'm just like, because it's there and you can do cool stuff with it. It's like it's not complicated, but like it's like with the Star Fox Zero thing, where like the game is just too complicated for normies to grasp it, really. And I was kind of struggling with it myself because I was using like basic bitch weapons like all throughout the game because I was so unwilling to like fuse. And like towards the end, I was just like I actually had gotten in the habit of like not fusing my weapons at all and like using materials. And that's just not how you should play the game. So like everything in that game was quite a bit harder than it should have been because I was using like the bitch made weapons, but yeah, I wonder if Review Deck USA is going to make a Steam Deck video. Peach and Rosalina. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to watch the Mario Galaxy movie again because maybe I'll put it on today. Yeah, I think I might sit here and just get the book done. I don't have anything else going on today, and I have to work tomorrow. So. Oh, did he re-upload it?
I just wanted some.
Okay, he did. Okay, let's
I just wanted some sauce on those zingers.
This video was inspired by the YouTube algorithm putting stuff in my feed. I'll start off with, you know what's going on with the quartering, flagged Kino Casino's clip channel. He shouldn't have done that. I don't like any of them. I despise everyone from Kino Casino to the quartering to side scrollers. I'm going to talk about them to Tectone, you name it.
what?
But they shouldn't have been flagged down. Side scrollers has covered what is happening with the quartering, and as much as I don't like them either, they have been doing a good job of that. And I have to say, it was interesting to see their videos on the quartering, and they went into good detail. But there was a couple things that I noticed that was like, wow, that's a strange thing to, that's a strange guest, I should say, to have on. And I was looking through the videos, and one of the guests that they had on was Tectone.
Yeah, to distract you of what's actually going on. That's why whoever controls the media controls the entire planet. Whoever can broadcast the biggest issue
Alexa, stop.
to distract from what the actual real problems are is how you get all the citizens to stop actually trying to
Alexa,
congregate
stop.
together and make a beneficial change that we can actually do. When everybody's, it's like the Mayan calendar. Everybody thought we were all going to die in 2012, and everybody was talking about that shit for the entire year. Yeah, no, it's nuts.
Phoenix, I knew you were going to like Tectone.
I do. I love this guy.
Side scrollers loves women abusers. Rich. I have seen you talk to your wife and mother. Okay. Like, what are you talking about, you hypocrite?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Now,
what are you talking-
Tectone, let me get this up on my screen here. The judge granted his ex-partner, Pikachu, a 10-year personal protection
Hang on, let's switch this so you can actually see what I'm.
order after finding reasonable grounds that he committed, they call him grape tone for a reason, assault, and probable cause for stalking against his ex, Pikachu. He has a restraining order. He has to be 200 yards away from her. No contact. He had to pay her legal fees, and he can't have any firearms. Now, believe me, I'm telling you, I'm not defending the quartering. I love seeing him suffer. I was calling out the quartering. We'll get more into this in a second. Before it was cool. So I have no issue with.
Yeah, because you're a leftist. That's a completely different thing than like conservatives calling out the quartering for being a hypocrite. Like, you didn't like the quartering because he was like, he presented himself as a conservative. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have the same kind of weight. Nobody cares what you think.
Them covering the quartering. But how do you go after the quartering, how he went to a Renaissance fair and was being creepy with women and all this stuff, and then you have on Tectone and you're glazing him? So you don't really care about what the quartering's doing. You're just riding the wave. Someone said this to me, and it's perfect, that YouTubers are ambulance chasers.
What?
You know right now it's popular to...
Yeah, Rich. You do the exact same thing. Yeah, the only YouTuber who doesn't do this kind of thing is like me. And what does that result in? Like, no views, no attention, because I don't jump on trans, right? Like, I'm just not interested. But for like, if you're like someone who's like desperate for like attention and especially financial support on YouTube, like, it makes sense to be jumping on like major controversies like this. Like, there's nothing like weird about this. Like, everybody else does this.
crap on the quartering. But Tectone, because even though he went through this court case, he's still popular with the chuds that watch you,
The chuds.
side scrollers. So you'll glaze him, have him on, even though he did things that are, I would say, worse than the quartering, and the quartering did really crappy things, because Tectone is, everyone, your audience is okay with him, but they're not okay with the quartering, so you don't really stand for anything, side scrollers. You're just riding the anti-quartering wave.
I mean, I don't disagree with him. I think Craig's a snake. I think he's a grifting, opportunistic retard. But like, I don't think it's reasonable to like criticize him for like doing the same thing that you're doing. Cause like, I would say that like most leftists have like, well, most people have like no real serious conviction about anything at all. It's all entirely just about a grift and entirely about like what benefits them in the moment. That's like most people. It has nothing to do with side scrollers specifically.
Love to see the wave, but you're complete hypocrites. Now, one of the quartering videos that popped up, that was kind of weird, and I was like, who is this? There's a video from them, I'm looking at it now, called "The Quartering Embarrassed Himself Again." And I'm looking there, I'm like, who is this dude that's painted like China white? Who is this weirdo?
With the quartering is he will go in and he'll tweet a bunch of things around 6 o'clock at night, and then like they just ended up getting deleted. He ends up, this is a reoccurring theme.
Don't drink and tweet, man. Don't drink.
No, it's not a bug at this point. It appears to be a feature of him. So what a bummer.
And I'm actually glad. I was going to do this video a couple days ago, but I'm actually glad that I waited, because I tripped across who this guy was, this dude who was painted in white. And someone on Twitch, shout out to them, I found this out in my live streams. Check me out on here and on Twitch. I stream on a regular basis. Someone's like, that guy's name is Jake Monroe. And he became this right-wing, alt-right goth grifter after he was also accused of assault, allegedly. The allegations against goth YouTube creator Jake Monroe primarily stem from a highly publicized multi-hour video feud regarding his past relationship with his ex-girlfriend and fellow content creator Kayla Lilith.
Know how his manipulative little brain works. So all of this, him being supportive, that wasn't support. That was him wanting to use something against me, and he has. He has literally gone and done it.
She's known online as Toxic Tears, and she's still doing her thing. What were the allegations against our dear goth friend here, and totally not a weirdo and not a grifter, except he is? What are the allegations? Infidelity.
What?
He controlled her with financial control. Lilith alleged that Monroe encouraged expensive lifestyle.
Is like any of this proven? And how does any of this like relate to the quartering? Like, who cares? Like, who the fuck cares about anything? Like, who cares?
Once he started making money, pushing her to accept gifts and spend more. However, after the breakup, he allegedly reframed that spending to accuse her of exploiting and stealing from him. There's also emotional and psychological abuse. Lilith and online observers detailed patterns of manipulation, emotional abuse, and toxic behavior throughout their relationship and displacement. He made her homeless following the breakup. And side scrollers had this guy on to judge the quartering when he has done significantly worse things. And what's interesting with this,
homeless after the breakup? So like he kicked her out, like what? Like broke up and he kicked her. What's wrong with that?
The breakup and side scroll abuse and toxic behavior throughout their relationship and displacement. He made her homeless following the breakup and side scroll.
So he kicked her out of his house. Like, what's the big deal? Like, if they broke up, they don't need. Why would she keep living there? You know, that doesn't make any sense. What's the big deal? Like, kick her ass to the street. Like she could go somewhere else. Like, who cares?
Had this guy on to judge the quartering when he has done significantly worse things. And what's interesting with this Jake Monroe clown is because of him getting exposed for being abusive to his ex, and she brought receipts, he became this far right winger, and he did the.
Wait a minute. You're gonna tell me that the reason this guy is part of the alt-right community is because he broke up with his girlfriend and she said things about him online? Like, really? That's the angle you're going with?
Right wing grift. You can't make this up. I mean, it's a tale as old as time with these idiots, but that Tectone did the same thing. He actually self-proclaimed himself a progressive. Then these allegations came out and he's like, oh crap, I need an audience. Where can I get an audience that would be brain dead and not care that they call me Grape Tone for a reason? I know, I'll become a right-wing grifter. He admitted this too. I went to the right wing crap because I needed to find another audience, because my other audience hated me because they found out what I did. And how could side scroll this again? This all YouTubers do crap like this, right? We're going to get into more YouTubers too. These guys admitted they're fake. Stuttering Craig. They came out and said it. They either became right wing because they got exposed, like Jake Monroe, or they admit, like Tectone, flat out that they became right wing because they needed to find a new audience because their other audience hated them because of the
Okay, I agree that like side scrollers is fake, right? Like I have a problem with like how they do things and like their angles and like how they bitch about things that don't matter. Like they do the same thing that like every other like conservative grift does, in that like it's just about endlessly talking about problems instead of actually correcting them. I feel as if like this isn't really a valid criticism of them though. Like it's like this to me, coming from Rich, it feels as if he's just salty that they're a conservative leaning podcast and that they're like advocating for certain things and talking about things, and that's why he's upset. It's like it's different than like why I'm upset at them and why I don't like them and why I won't go on there. It's just
allegations of what they did against women. Tectone, that is. So what substance do they
Like,
have?
you don't. You are delusional if you think someone like Craig is going to do a deep dive on everyone's personal history and like know everything they've been accused of and like refuse to bring people on because of like accusations or things. Because I've had like accusations lobbied at me recently that are like very observably not true. So like again, it's becoming more and more common with these like conservative spaces to just like have this mindset that like a lot of what's being said about them, especially by the left, is just not true. Even listening to this, I'm just like, he's complaining about Tecton, he's complaining about Jake Monroe. Never heard of these guys before, but like, I really have a strong like inclination to assume that they didn't really do anything wrong or illegal. It's just the reality of it. Like again, we've seen what like, how leftists act and how they spurg out about things that don't really matter. And like I think this is a good example of that.
Stuttering Craig of side scrollers. What is the substance? They're liars. So what is anything they have to say? How could you take it with any credibility? But because they're in the right circles, they have a following. That's all that Craig cares about. He doesn't really, he has these people that have done significantly worse things than the Quartering, and the Quartering has done terrible things, and I hate him and I love seeing him suffer. But they have these people on because they're not seen in that light yet, and they want the clout from them. And what's funny is I see, let's go back to the Quartering for a second, right? I know I said it, trust me, there's more YouTubers I'm going to talk about. But all these people I see doing deep dives into the controversies surrounding the Quartering. I did this deep dive and found all this information about the Quartering, and I can't believe what he did with his coffee company. I can't believe what he did to other YouTubers, and I can't believe he was always flagging people. What do you mean? What do you mean? I was calling this, a lot of this stuff about the Quartering back in like 2021. What deep dives are you doing? Your deep dive is going to Kiwi Farms that has had a lot of this information about the Quartering, about stuff he's done, about his coffee company for years. You were just afraid to talk about it for one of two reasons, even though you knew he was doing this stuff for ages. You were too afraid to talk about it. One, you thought he was going to be vengeful against you and you didn't want to deal with it, or you wanted to be in his good graces and kiss his ass because you wanted the clout and you wanted his audience and you were hoping you could make money off of him. So even though you saw this,
or it could be a situation in which people aren't paying that much attention to the Quartering, not paying that much attention to his business, not understanding that like what he's doing could have like, the shady underside to it. Like, again, it took a while for all this to come out. It's like with Nick Ricada, right? I came out in 2018, telling people, what, 2018? No, it wasn't 2018. Yeah, fairly early on, while Weeb Wars was still going on, before the Vic case was over, like, I was coming out and telling people that, like, yeah, I think Ricada is being irresponsible with this case, because he was coming out and he was telling people that like we're definitely going to win, Vic's definitely going to get his job back, like everyone at Crunchyroll was going to be fired, and like it was very obvious to me that like a lot of what he was promising wasn't realistic, and I came out about it. I said that, but like, at the time I just got kind of ignored. And then like, over the next couple of years, we saw like things getting more and more degenerate. And it wasn't until like the Baldo thing where like people started like, understanding what I'd been saying for years. Like, it's not that people weren't speaking out about the Quartering, because they obviously were. I've never watched this channel. I've never supported him. I knew he was a snake, but like, it's more accurate to say that like there wasn't any true momentum behind criticisms. Like, it takes time for these things to like really get going and for people to understand like what's not right about the Quartering. Okay, because traditionally people would assume that all criticism lobbied at someone like the Quartering was coming from leftists, and that was like a bulletproof shield for a long time. And now we're seeing that like it's just not working anymore. I don't think it's like an indication or a condemnation of like people who like the Quartering or wanted to support him or do things for him or work with him, like, because they don't know anything about this. Like, they see another content creator that they're going to work with to like try and like, promote their brands and channels. Like, there's nothing weird about that, honestly. Like, you're insane if you seriously think that like other people are responsible for the quartering because they like dared associate him with him or watch his content. It just
stuff. Even though you knew this was happening, you turned a blind eye. But now it's because he's on the decline and everyone hates him. They always really did, but now they don't have a problem saying they hate him and everyone's exposing him. Now because you feel safe and he's already down. Now, okay, he's already down, so I'll just kick him. I'll kick him. See, I'm tough too. I'm tough. I totally didn't try to clout chase her. I totally wasn't afraid of him. You know who was calling him out back in the day to my own detriment? I would lose at least a few hundred subscribers, get my videos ratioed. I've made many mistakes, but you can't say, and many of you know, I was calling him out when it was not cool to call him out.
Rich. You were pretending to be a centrist back then. Like, what are you talking about? Like you told me that you weren't invested in politics, that you didn't care about politics, that you only got interested in politics because Donald Trump was so evil, and that you realized that the Democrats were right about everything. Like, you're gonna tell me that you were calling out the quartering in like 2018? Like, really? Like, you're really gonna try and tell me that you knew all the deep lore revolving around the quartering years before anyone else, because you have such a big bald head, because you're like the Dr. Evil of YouTube. You're like a super genius when it comes to YouTube drama. Like, you are like the ultimate A-log. You are like the connoisseur of drama. You are like the not so Kino Casino. You are like, I don't know, the left wing just drama. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand this. Like, why is he so obsessed with like these right-leaning channels? Because like, he talks about Kino Casino all the time. He talks about the quartering. He talks about Kiwi Farms. Like, I don't understand why he's so obsessed with these people. Like, I just don't get it. Like, he doesn't really seem to follow like leftists all that much. He seems more like engaged with like the weird alt-right stuff. But
so, and those videos used to get decent views for me. So you can't say you didn't know. You just, once again, YouTubers and content creators and social media influencers, they're ambulance chasers. They are ambulance chasers. And if they see an ambulance running down.
Why was beat 'em ups in the thumbnail? Like, beat 'em ups has nothing to do with this. Like, one of the reasons I clicked on this video is because like beat 'em ups is in this. Hey, we got to talk about him, but no, he's not.
On the road, they're going to try to go behind it and see if they can make money off of it. You don't actually really care about what the quartering did. You just care about the viewership it's going to get. And now, you know, people will sub to you and like you because you pretend to hate him. So you kissed his ass when it was beneficial, and you call him out when it's beneficial. You stand for nothing. And another thing I want to talk about too, moving on from some
there are definitely people involved with the quartering who have been like very religiously defensive of him. I think Melanie Mack has done that. I think there's some other chick that's done that. But like, those are people directly on his payroll. Like, I don't think it's accurate to say like everybody was like mindlessly kissing his ass. There were definitely people like that, but I don't think Side Scrollers is a very good example of that, because they haven't been around that long. I'm gonna say like 3 years. So like, they weren't even around during like the Gamergate days or like when the quartering got started. Like, he was already well established by the time they entered the picture. So it's like, what exactly are you upset with Side Scrollers for? You know what I mean? It's like
one side of grifters. And I notice this a lot with these younger, especially left-wing YouTube channels, is the egregious. It is just flat out clickbait. Yeah, I've seen like Adam Mockler do it, Keith Edwards do it, you name it. They in Midas Touch, where they'd make mountains out of molehills is generous. Like, for example, they'll have Keith Edwards will have a news story and he has a thumbnail with Trump, showing Trump crapping himself, showing Trump about to pass out, or showing and making it like something completely different happen. And then you go to a Keith Edwards video, nothing to do with it. And what they'll do is, and here's how they get the watch time, even with clickbait, I'll tell you. So they give you this title, The title has nothing to do with the video or next to nothing to do with the video. They make it so they get a certain amount of watch time. They're blabbing about other stuff that they hope they could keep your attention with. So you may sit there and like, this has nothing to do with what the thumbnail and title were. And then at the end, they'll give you a little teeny tiny crumb. And it's still nothing compared to how outrageous they made the title and thumbnail of what the title and thumbnail was about. So they hope that you stick to the end.
Yeah, what? Like, everyone does this. Everyone makes edgy thumbnails. It's like,
So even though they clickbaited you into that video, they're still getting the watch time, because clickbait back in the day with YouTube, right? They used to count views on clicks. And what people like Tobuscus would do, I even think iJustine did it, is they would have like some woman with like her breasts popping out to lure people to click on the video, and then it would just be like Tobuscus walking down the road doing a shaky vlog talking about nonsense. So YouTube went over to watch time. But now the new generation of clickbaiters are like, okay, how do we get the watch time but still clickbait them? Okay, we'll have a thumbnail that has next to nothing to do with what's going on. We'll have a title that's next to nothing to do with what's going on. And then we'll give them a teeny tiny bit, even though it's really, we flat out clickbaited at the end. So one, we get the watch time, and two, we skirt YouTube's.
what the fuck does this have to do with the quartering or side scrollers? Like, because like the comparison doesn't work, because like side scrollers does talk about their actual topics. You can say a lot about them and about like how they handle it, but like they do actually spend a little bit of time talking about like all the topics they're going to talk about. Like the idea that they clickbait people and then like don't actually talk about things that happened, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't apply to side scrollers, and I would argue doesn't really apply to like right-wing YouTubers in general.
TOS. I see it all the time. I think anyone who does it is scum, and it is flat out clickbait, and I hope YouTube eventually does something about it, period. And you know what's funny too? I get this a lot. Oh, Rich, that's because you're in the chud drama sphere on your live streams, not really in my YouTube videos. I guess here I am doing that right now. I did make one quartering video too. That's why there's all this drama. The gaming YouTubers and tech YouTubers, they never get into this drama. No, stop right now. There's a story. I know so many YouTubers that they're all smiley and lovey-dovey and all positive and G-rated, and they work with big companies, that people despise them behind the scenes. People despise them. I don't even, like, Rich, why aren't you naming those names? I don't want to get more beef with people that I already have. Like, the beef with the people I mentioned here is public. And on top of it too, I don't know I don't want to be the one. I have been told not to say things, and I don't want to be the one to start and say something, but I will say stories that I have heard.
He's saying this after like claiming that he called out the quartering before anybody else. Like, what is he talking
They're
about?
insufferable to work with. They're condescending. There's people that would rather light themselves on fire, but work with them, but they will work with them because it's beneficial to them. You don't understand the drama in like the tech YouTube space, and the gaming YouTube space may actually be worse, because they're all trying to get that piece of the pie. They're all trying to be as ad friendly as possible. And behind the scenes, even like the ASMR community, I saw a video recently, who's sleeping with who's fighting who's accusing who of grape. I guess I'll call it grape now. So it's saying that all these other communities are better than the drama communities. No, there is just as much drama. There's a story I'm thinking.
Is he trying to imply the ASMR community is as toxic as like the right-wing drama community? He can't be he can't be that delusional. Like, I can't imagine that. Like, I don't know anything about ASMR drama. I'm sure it happens, but like I have never seen it. Maybe I just follow like innocuous personalities, but like I have never seen like anything like that. And like, it's like, because when you look at the drama, like by its nature, the drama community is like very public, and like people want to go at each other for like clicks and attentions. Like ASMR like very deliberately has to like cultivate that like community where it's like superficially wholesome and all that. Like there's definitely like a fakeness to it for certain people, but like Yeah, to say that there's like some top secret like conspiracy behind the scenes is just retarded. Like I imagine most of these people don't actually know each other or talk to each other at all.
That involves someone's taking someone else's channel and the other person wanting to kill them and people going with each other's wives. And no, I'm not talking about the quartering. So you thinking that this is just in one part of YouTube, it is all over. But the chud part you hear about, the other parts you don't. And those people may even be worse than the chuds, because at least the chuds admit that they're terrible people. So there's that.
I can't get over that like left wingers legit like unironically call people chuds. It's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
There's that. I almost forgot to pull this up. Here is a perfect example. Now, human beings do this across the board, but you see this with content creators, maybe more so. I mean, obviously politicians, it's terrible. Lord knows we're seeing that now, but the mask. I mean, obviously you're always going to put on a persona because you're here to entertain people and you're not going to put out all of your dirty laundry. But there's a lot of people that come across as like Mr. Rogers and kind and friendly. And the person I was thinking of, he used to be, I believe, on that guy with the glasses, was someone named Clan of the Grey Wolf. He used to make YouTube videos. Like at the time they were trailblazing because they were really high quality, right? Really high production value, especially for how early he was doing this. And then he just kind of disappeared, I believe, in, what does it say here, in like 2014 or something like that. He was doing well, and then he just stepped away. Now, we heard of Clan of the Grey Wolf again, not because of YouTube videos, but he became a 2-day Jeopardy champion in November of 2024. So there was a thing. But then things went downhill. So here's this guy, smart dude, made great YouTube videos, seemed very relaxed, very kind. Well, you could put that out the window. Speaking of content creators are terrible. Clan of the Grey Wolf, classic video game retrospective YouTube channel, turned himself in December 2025. In December 2025, DeSena turned himself in Raleigh, North Carolina, to authorities after being charged with 2 counts of felony secret peeping.
What?
The allegation is accused of unlawfully installing cameras to secretly record images of individuals without their consent. I understand this goes for human beings as a whole and not just content creators, but you see it so much. Content creators are horrible people. There's exceptions.
He is projecting so hard right now. Content creators, they're all like me. They're all toxic. They all care about drama. They're all pathetic man children. It's just
content creators are horrible people. There's exceptions. I know I've made plenty of mistakes too.
Is he?
But
he's saying that he's an exception? Who are you trying to fool, Rich? Like, you got caught with underage girls on your Dropbox. Like, that has to be worse than like than what that Clan of the Wolf guy did. Like, I just don't understand this. Like, what? He's trying to say he's an exception?
the demons that these people have.
These people, not me. These people.
And the things they push and the terrible messaging they push and the people they'll affiliate with because those people are relevant no matter what they've done. They make me seem like a friggin' angel, man.
What?
And I've done plenty of things that sucked. Content creators are terrible, horrible people.
What?
And I think I gave you plenty of good examples here.
No, you
It isn't
didn't
just one
actually.
genre. It isn't just grifters. It's across the board.
But Rich. You didn't give a single example outside of the right-wing grifter community. Like, what are you
This is
talking
Richard
about?
Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.
There you goes, boys.
What is he talking about? What is he talking about? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, padding out the video for ad revenue. Yeah, it's like 18 minutes long. And he doesn't. Alexa, stop. Like, it's like 18 minutes long. And he's not doing anything. He's just sitting there bitching about like random creators that no one's ever heard of. he makes some allusion to some YouTuber that I've never heard of. Yeah, that guy with the glasses in 2014. Like that guy with the glasses was already on life support in 2014. Like they were on the way out by like the change of channel document was published in 2018. Okay, like you already had like a lot of talent leave. Like it's just like that guy with the glasses was only relevant from like I would say 2010 to 2012. And like actually no, yeah, from its inception about 2012. Cause like after like Doug killed the Nostalgia Critic, like it cratered and then he had to bring it back. And then they made the slow transition to like into becoming like full-time YouTubers once like the copyright thing was resolved and they learned how to evade it properly. I just I don't know, man. I find it really I don't feel as if most content creators are like terrible people. Like I feel like most of them are just normal people, okay? And like it's what you see online when you get these kind of like, controversies, it just feels like everyone's fucking up and everyone's causing problems, but then you have people that are like relatively normal, right? And are doing well and are like happy and stuff like that. Like it's I find it really very odd how he's sitting there and he's just like most of these people they're evil, man, they're evil, and I'm just like this seems like projection to me, honestly. It's like he's accusing everyone else of being a grifter and only doing things for clout, and I'm just like, isn't that what you did? Like, didn't you go on side scrollers at one point? Does that make you culpable to what Craig does? And like, it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. Okay. Like at its core, it's just like a giant cope from some man child who's just not relevant at all. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. So yeah, I've been streaming a little bit longer than I intended to. At least we got a podcast out today. Like, I'm glad I found the time to do it. I remember to do it rather. So yeah, I'm gonna go dark for a couple of hours. I'm gonna like probably eat. I'm probably gonna clean the house. I'm probably gonna like put on put on some movies and like watch some stuff. And I'll probably come on in a couple of hours and play some games. I'm probably gonna go to bed early tonight because I gotta be somewhere. But like, um, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for your support. Definitely check out the Patreon, the website. You know, become a member. We definitely need to start doing member only streams. But